What is up, YouTube? Today I'll be doing yet another video. This is going to be a new series I'm starting. It's going to be about my favorite genre of films, and that is horror. I'm expanding my collection of these classic films, especially the ones I'm going to talk about today and onwards. But it's going to be in individual video for each movie. That way, when I do end up watching the films I am waiting to see, and then I get them, then I can talk about them when I see them, and then that way I can put them all into the categories that is made for that movie, basically. And the categories I'm going to do is the 1930s to the 1940s, and then the 1950s to the 1960s, and then the 1970s to the 1980s. I'm going to go through each one, find the best ones that I personally have seen and I enjoy watching them. Not ones that I've heard that are good or anything like that, just because I want to sit down, and if I enjoy it, then that way I can feel confident in expressing that I want you to see it as well. So basically that's what this whole thing is going to be about. So always come back to the channel if you're confused, if you come in later on. I'm not going to explain it every single time I do a video, so I'm just going to keep referencing to come back to the first video to catch up. So first off, we are doing films from the 1930s to the 1940s, and the first movie I have is The Mummy, 1932, starring Boris Karloff. This isn't the first film in these 1930s, coming straight off the silent era. That film is actually Dracula, 1931, starring Bela Lugosi. That's one I have to find. It's very hard to find it. I have a whole bunch of these movies in like this black and green, and I really enjoy that cover, and I haven't seen the Bela Lugosi film in that. But it's kind of difficult to find the ones I want, because there's the Bela Lugosi one, which is English, a English film, and then there's a French film of the same film. I don't know the actors in that one, but I'll need to check that one out too, to just compare it to each other, see what's new, see what's different, and all that kind of stuff. But basically today we're going to talk about The Mummy. Fantastic film, Boris Karloff. I absolutely love him. I'm definitely going to do a sort of like a podcast kind of thing on Boris Karloff's series of films and his whole career, because he, to me, is the most interesting out of them all. And then straight after him is Bela Lugosi. I reckon he's a phenomenal actor as well. But Boris Karloff, he has one of the most unique voices and the most unique body types out there. He fits the role of the mummy, and obviously if you know Boris Karloff at all, he plays the Frankenstein's monster as well. So he has that unique body. He feels like when you're looking at him walk around or interact with people, and when he's talking, you just be like, yes, he's the mummy, yes, he's the monster from Frankenstein, yes, he's whatever he betrays, you believe that that's what he is and stuff like that. And it's so hard to betray that back in these days. And like I said before, this is coming straight off the silent era. So if you're coming into this and wondering wondering why it sounds so weird, and sometimes it'll be music and then it cuts out, and then like it'll come to talking and stuff like that. That's just because they didn't really know what to do with the whole music and the talking and stuff like that. So this is the second full-length film in the talkies. So there are definitely some key points in this film. I'm not going to get into them too much, just because I feel like you just have to go out and watch these films. There's no point in me explaining to it, just because there's no possible way for me to explain how much I enjoy this film and how much I love to watch it. You just have to go out and see it for yourself and get your own opinions. But The Mummy, definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. Even if you have seen it and you haven't watched it for a while, definitely worth a watch. But with most of these old classic horror films, you have to be in the mood to watch it. I have to admit that you can't be in a mood to just chuck on a movie. You have to just be in a certain mood to watch these. But thankfully for me, I'm always in the mood to watch a classic movie. I have I love these films, and I want to get a bigger collection. You can see right there, that is the Hammer Horror collection that I have. I've done a thing on the channel before. I've brazed through it, but I saved that for something like this. So once it gets into the 1970s, 1980s, 1960s, 1970s, sorry, should be doing that, and doing some of the Dracula and stuff like that. So anyway, this was The Mummy. These aren't reviews. I don't want to stress this enough. These are the best. So you know I love these films. You know that I enjoy watching them. These are more, I want to show you the film. I want to talk a little bit about it, not too much to spoil anything or do anything like that, because these are short films. They're roughly, this one's an hour and 14 minutes. Dracula's an hour and 12, I think. So they're never like an hour and a half or 2 hours or anything like that. So you can probably watch The Mummy and Dracula back to back if you really want to, and that will be even shorter than an average film anyway. These aren't reviews. These are not awareness. These are showing off the films that I love in the genres that they fit in, and I'm going to go through each film in that genre, and once I get out of that genre in my collection, my personal films, I'll move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then after that I have some other series I'm going to start doing as well. I don't want to say how often I'll upload these. I want to try to do it every maybe second day. That way they'll give me a good thing, and hopefully by October I should be finished this, and I want to do a special thing for October video as well. I reckon it'll be really cool. But nevertheless, Boris Karloff's The Mummy, definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. Fantastic movie, and if you want to get into it, I don't suggest this one. This is a bit slow. You have to actually love these sort of films and love the art of these. If you want to watch a horror classic film, wait for the next video, and that one will be one to introduce you into these films, and one of Boris Karloff's best performances ever. And anyway, I will see you in the next video, either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not too sure. Don't want to set it in stone yet. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you've seen The Mummy, let me know. Leave a comment of your opinions about it. If you have any questions about it, just let me know, like always. And most importantly, let's talk movies.
Arthur Fay introduced himself.
Won't you be seated?